Hey everybody, welcome back to Freedom Algo. Sorry that I'm so late. I apologize. I had to deal with something real quick. Let me get my music going here. Hold on. Lower the quality on that. There we go. Hope you're all having a great day. Super slow price action this morning, but it's the way it is sometimes. All right. I'm going to wait for the chat to pick up here. Wait for everybody to come in. Somebody left a comment and then took it away. I don't know what that was. Whatever. But yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to deal with something. Had a phone call that came in that I had to deal with right before the stream was about to start. So let me zoom out real quick. Start with this. First thing here is just to let you know. Basically, what we had was a downtrend. This little uptrend, we didn't get a new low, but we did reverse into this bigger up channel. There's a couple of smaller channels within this up channel, and it went all the way to a new all-time high. And now we kind of have this like little shallow down channel correction right here. We still, in my opinion, should get a new high after the break of this bigger up channel. However, it might be delayed because we had this micro channel that got a new high and a close outside. So there's a good chance that we could reverse. We never got the new low down here, so we'll see. We could grind down now. But the unfortunate thing with today is that there are almost no setups. So it's just the way it is sometimes. Even though we had this big move up, there's just not a lot of good setups following the rules, following the price action rules. So let me know in the chat how you're doing. I'm not actually seeing... Is there something wrong with the stream? Let me make sure the stream's working properly. I think it's good. I think OBS is just not giving me the stats. But I see some likes coming in. Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure, Jacoby. Really boring day. I mean, if you look at this, we had a few moments where there was almost a setup. So, like, early this morning... Here, I'll point them out. So, early this morning... Right here... I saw this as an up channel, and then we got a close outside, and we had this little down channel. We had a first entry long, second entry long above this bar, but it's not bullish enough to take it. So unfortunately, I was wanting to take a second entry long here, but we didn't get a setup, and then we didn't get a higher low. So there was no way to get into this, unfortunately, even though it worked out. Here earlier this morning, there was a first entry, second entry short, actually, that failed. But I don't think that you really want to take a failure there. You haven't made the new low yet. It's a little dicey. And that's this one right here. You would go long above this, but I just think it's a little bit risky. Then we were coming up. We had a first entry, second entry long again. And I wanted to take a trade here, but the signal bar was too neutral, so couldn't take that either. Another one. Then we made a new high. We had a pullback. We had a first entry long, equal low, so second entry long when it breaks above that, but bearish signal bar. So again, another one that you couldn't take. There is a higher low on this one, but it's too close to the highs at this point. Now, this higher low is interesting. Some people probably took that. I just don't think that you have like no space there. So I just think it's too risky going long into the high like that. So you just have to skip that one too. And then you had this tight channel working higher. Now, this is one of those strong trends. So if you get a good signal bar off of the trend line, which you do get one here, you could consider going long. It's a 6-tick bar, so you get an 8-tick stop loss. The only problem is you've only got like 3 ticks to the high. So you're really taking a risk there going long. I think it works. Yeah, you got enough room. It would work if you went long there. I didn't take it. I took 0 trades today so far. There's no setup there. It moves up. Now, you do get a new all-time high again, and then it closes outside and makes a new high there on this little channel. So it is a little bit dicey here because this up channel has a close outside and a new high all at once, and then it gets this really bearish lower high. So there is a first entry long there, and it would be a second entry long here, but you get an equal low. So it triggers on this bar here, it sort of triggers there. So you could use this green bar as a second entry bar. So you could go long above this. Now, I had an order ready. I was going to go long above this bar, but it ends up not filling me, and then it just goes down. So then I had to cancel the order. So another one where you almost have... here, let's put a little... You almost have a second entry long right here, but it just doesn't trigger. Then you get this one here, and even if this... So let's do... If this was a bullish signal bar, I would have taken a long here, because you would have had a first entry, second entry long that then basically went down, made one more leg, and then come up here, which would be like a trap. People that went long here would be trapped. People that went short there would be trapped. So if we had a bullish bar there that closed inside the trend line, I would have taken it. But again, we didn't get one. We got a neutral bar, slightly bearish. So another one that doesn't do anything. Then it comes up here, makes this equal high to this one. And then you do get a first entry, second entry long here, but you don't want to take that. Now it's below the EMA. Now it hasn't made a new high. It's just too risky there. There is a first entry, second entry short. It's a doji though. And I don't think you really want to take a short there. It's just not worth it. So it's just the kind of day we're having today. You could treat this like an equal high and treat this like a first entry, second entry long and treat that like a failure. But again, I don't think you're looking for a failure right there. It's not really off of anything. So it's just a lot of like almost setups, but not quite. And so that's just the kind of day we're having. Now I drew this little channel. Once we had this close, this one, this touch here, and now this touch. Like it does look like we have this down channel that's in play. So we could start considering shorts if they set up properly, but it's just grinding. So that's what I see today. No trades for me. This is the only setup I really see that's worth anything. Everything else looks pretty dead. And so that's what I see. If I zoom out, I don't really see any bigger pattern besides this one. We made a new all-time high, but also I forgot to mention this. The ATR is very low. It's below a 2. So the volume and volatility are just pretty low right now. The bars are printing slow. Volume's low. And that's just all it is. That's what we got. So, anyway. Let me know if you got questions in the chat. Again, sorry I was late this morning. I know I was delayed. I actually might have a phone call coming in, so I'm gonna put myself on mute here. Give me a second. But if you have questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Kamal, good to see you. Good to see you. All right, my bad. Had to deal with some stuff this morning. No, nothing crazy, just no big deal. All right, so let me see here. Fall and rise. Which indicators am I using? Where can you use them? The only indicator, well, it's kind of a complex question. So the easy thing is this white line is just a 21 period exponential moving average. That's what that is. But like these little numbers that tell me the size of the signal bars and if they're good or not, and like these ATRs and take profit, all this stuff in this toolbar and everything, that's all part of my own indicators that I built. It's basically like a Ninja Trader toolkit. And it is getting I'm still testing it. There's like a couple of bugs that I'm fixing, and then I'm rolling it out. Developers working on a few of those bugs currently. It's going to be available to anybody who's a member. So if you go into here to the link tree or into the description and you join for $99 a month, which gives you access to everything that I do with my full course, the program, everything involved, you'll have access to those once it rolls out in the next couple of weeks. So here's what's in there. You can see, like, you know, I post my chart updates throughout the whole morning session. You get access to the premium Discord. The classrooms are all in here. Everything's in there. And that's where the indicators are going to be. So the toolkit and everything that I built will be just for the members. And that's all I use. I just use the stuff that I built. That's all I use on my chart. There's this indicator is done. Like this toolkit that I built is done, but there's a secondary component. There's a secondary indicator that counts the legs of correction and does some other stuff and labels the bars in different ways. But it's just not. It's not quite ready yet. It's almost done. There's one more bug that I'm working on with it. And then after that, it will be done and ready for me to roll it all out. I'm just widening this to see if it still fits like that. Yeah, I see. I don't like to do that usually, but I just wanted to see. I don't think that that's correct. So I just wanted to test it. I think that this would be a closeout side now. So what we would do is draw a short-term trend line like this. No, fall and rise. I don't automate it. I manually enter trades. Like I manually enter like this. Like let's say I was going to go long. I would set an order like this. And then I would go and I would drop it somewhere to get into the trade. And then I use an ATM strategy to manage the take profits and all that. But this is all Ninja Trader. All right, so that's a closeout side. Now we have the short-term channel, so we'll see. If you got any more questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Definitely smash up the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We don't need to have a super long stream today because... to be fair, like there hasn't really been much setups, and that's just what it is today. There does look like some volatility's coming in. Like some of these bars are starting to print a little faster. There is a first entry short there. It's close outside new high, so there's a possible setup forming here. It rejected this exact level right here. It's kind of a triple test, but it's not really where you're looking for one necessarily. Because, I mean, yes, there is a triple test there, but it's just a first entry. I think you need a second leg to really confirm there. Whether that's a lower high or just one more attempt higher, equal high, something like that. So we're just going to be patient here. But the challenge right now is that we are expecting a new high to be made from that up channel. But also with this down channel, we expect a new low to be made. So usually that's going to play out first because it's a shorter term channel. So usually the new low will play out first and then the new high, but it's not always the case. You know, it could be that we get the new high first and then the new low. You don't know for sure. So you have to be patient. Make sure that you have the right type of setup. Just let the price action guide us. Right here, again, it's an equal high and a close outside, so you can treat that like new high was made. Let's see what happens at this level here. It's a rare day, though, to only get to see like one real good setup. Not even good, I mean, sorry, to see one setup. Just like there really isn't much today, not much to work with.
Order submitted.
Not the most ideal signal bar there. But we'll wait and see. And I'll be ready to cancel it if it goes higher. Alright, we're going to move that now. Because that went higher. But I was thinking there we might get a second entry short, lower high after the triple test there. But ended up not happening. So that's why we enter the way we do. It keeps us out of a setup that doesn't work like that, you see? That's the beauty of the way that I enter. Thought we might get one there, but we're going to cancel that now because now we have this move up. So we already have the close outside and equal high here. This is now a new high on this channel right there. We still were expecting the all-time high to get breached here, or at least an attempt. We'll drag this level over where we kind of rejected earlier just in case. But now this level is kind of toast. It didn't really end up doing anything for us. So there you go. I thought maybe we would at least get a triple test lower high. That was like a pretty decent setup because you're expecting a new low to be made on that channel, but it ends up not happening. But again, that's why I take the trades the way I do, because if the stop order doesn't trigger, then the setup didn't happen. You see? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so at this point, this level is not really that important now because I don't really think that this is like much of a range. I mean, we could draw a low there, I guess, as a possible. But I thought maybe we were going to have a little bit of a rangy type thing and then move to a new low and then possibly reverse. But with that move like that, I don't like it now. Does this level connect to anything? No, not really. So, boring price action overall. Very boring price action. Consider the wider move up here. Possible wider move up. Since it's going higher. It's possible. This is a possible channel. Yeah, for sure, Trevor. Exactly. Because by doing it, you're only going if the momentum really does confirm in the direction that you're looking to go. All right, so, and then by the way, this is just an experimental up channel here. It's not confirmed really. I'm just drawing it as a possibility. This is another triple test of that level. This actually would be a second entry short if it reverses there, which is kind of interesting, but I just think it's dicey now unless you get like a lower high or something. Not much to it. Maybe. But this actually could, this will make us, this looks like it might make a second entry short all in one bar. It might engulf this bar. I'm not looking to take it. Only because, like, yes, this is not confirmed. So, like, a short could be somewhat valid there. But, like, you're so close to this high now that it's just probably going to try to grind up there. Especially after that big move up. Like, it just, yeah. It's risky to take the short here. It's a nice signal bar forming, but it's risky in my opinion. And it's not worth taking a risky setup. Just not worth it. What's, hold on, I just got an alert. I want to see something. What's crypto doing? Oh, is it still down? Interesting. Big sell-off. It looks like it had a pretty big sell-off in the overnight. Alright, anyway. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so now we are getting that grind up. We are going for the all-time high again. Let's see. Alright, we're almost at the all-time high again. I got it marked with this kind of magenta line. Pink, purple, magenta, whatever you want to call it. Trying to match the color of my light that I have in the background. Get some incense going here. Get the office fresh. Well, pretty aggressive move. Almost there. This level ended up not doing anything. This level not doing anything. So at this point, I'm really just marking the lower levels that we might bounce from. So I have that one marked. We got yesterday's close way down here. We got this level here. You know, we got this level here. These are all possible areas that we could bounce, or at least find some level of support if we do drop. And then, of course, way down here, but I'm not even going to draw a level there right now. It doesn't matter if we start going down there, but that would be a wild thing to see happen. It would have to free fall pretty much. So, here we go. Push to the all-time high. Equal high made. So, at that point, you can consider that a new high. If it's an equal high, you can treat it like a new high. But it probably will tick above. I would be surprised if it doesn't tick above that level. But that would mean that this big up channel has played out. An equal high is enough to treat that as a new high. Now, it might still tick up. It might want to get one more tick. But that counts as equal high can be treated like a lower high or a new high. So, we're going to say that that's played out now. Let's go, let's go, let's go, fam. A little quiet today. A little quiet on a Monday. Not a lot of likes, not a lot of viewers. But that's okay. I was late for the stream, so that's my fault a little bit. Yo, I'm going to tell you guys straight up right now. My dog is in here, okay? He just let out the loudest fart I've ever heard from a dog. And then looked straight at and I looked over at him and he just made straight eye contact after. Anyway. That's the kind of day we're having. That's the kind of day we're having. That was his contribution to what the market, or what the entries have been like today. Alright, there's a new all-time high right there. Again. So we'll move this line up. There it is. So new high has been achieved on that other up channel. So now what we got to do is, or what we got to see is, do we continue higher, right? Do we continue higher? Is there something else wider happening? Sometimes it's worth evaluating, drawing some levels as a possibility. Doesn't look like it to me. Is there a wider pattern? Nah, probably not. Sometimes it's worth evaluating just in case. And this just keeps on grinding up. So, and I have to keep on adjusting this, which is pretty weird when it does that. Because it's now starting to just look like a really strange line here. Like this is almost a trend of its own right here from this like higher low. This is kind of almost its own sort of one of these guys. Something like that. I'm just checking something on my other screen real quick. Bear with me here. All right. Yeah, see how I have to keep moving this wider channel top? Like, I don't like doing that too much because it just doesn't look like a normal trend. That's why I drew this little short-term one, because that seems to be the way that this thing is moving. But it just wants to keep going higher here. So, don't argue with it. Don't argue with it. But this has played out over here, this big channel. Now, I do need to see... It seems like... I was going to say, I wonder if you were to draw one from here. I wonder if you were to draw one from here. Something like that. If there's just a flatter channel in here. Like almost like a spike in channel. I don't know if it really helps us, but it might be worth drawing it just in case. It seems kind of funky, but it might be worth keeping that in mind. I'm not going to leave it as a channel. What I'll do is I'll draw a possible... I will draw it like this as a possible trend line. And then if we come back to it and have a reaction, great. If not, no big deal. That might be a possibility. Like we flattened out a little bit kind of thing. But we'll see. Alright, everybody. If you're here, please smash up that like button. We only got 12 likes right now. Abysmal. It's a slow day. Slow day in terms of, we're hitting all-time highs, but just the way the market's moving is actually a lot slower than what you'd expect. ATR is pretty low. Volatility looks like it's increasing a little bit right now. We almost got a setup earlier, just it didn't form. I'm hoping that we can maybe get one. So we have this new high. We have a pullback. That's a first entry long. And you got to be careful here because that was just the correction channel to a new high. Another new high, or at least equal high. I like watching paint dry right now, to be honest. Look at how slow it's printing. Alright, anybody have any questions? Because I might just wrap up the stream early if there's no questions. Because it's just so, like, slow. Got some stuff going on this week anyway. Gonna enjoy some of the really nice weather that we got here. Not much to report right here. Equal high. You could treat that as played out. Is the wider channel in play? Maybe. We don't have a third swing here yet. Just have swing 1 and kind of like swing 2 right there. Big gaps in there. Becomes kind of dicey. Because you can treat this like a first entry, but when it makes an equal high, a lot of times you want to reset your count. That's the only thing here. Like it makes it a little bit more of a dicey setup if we do get a second entry from that, because that's the equal high. Still could be valid. It just depends on how it forms. The other problem is it was just making a new high on this other channel, so that might be all that this move wants to give us here. We can wait and see if we get one, but I just don't think that it's going to be the best. It depends on how it forms. Yeah, I don't even think it's going to hit the level. So I'm going to treat this like a double top and treat this like a first entry, not a second entry here because of just how it formed. Because it's all pretty sideways right there. This doesn't look like one leg, two leg. I mean, it kind of does, but you don't want to take that because it's not off of any key level. So you could treat this like a double top and treat this like a first entry forming, and then see if a second entry does form. Definitely don't want to be longing right into the all-time high right there. So let's see if this breaks higher a tick and gives us an actual first entry from this high right here. Okay, first entry. But another equal high. So now we look at this as the new high. Well, and it actually is a new high. So we got a new high here. And so now we just got to wait and see. Anybody got any questions? Go ahead and drop them in the chat. I hope you all had a good start to your week. I know it's slow, but that's just what we're going to get sometimes. That is what we're going to get sometimes. You know, this could change at any point today, so be aware of that. Like, we could see, like, an actual, like, nice little trend start that gives us a bunch of setups. But I'm just going to take it as a slow day. No trades from me. You saw me try to get one ready earlier, but it just didn't trigger. And unfortunately, all the other setups that I pointed out, they were close, but not really quite the best formations. I didn't mention there's a second entry short over here, but it's just so sideways right there. There's just so many, like, almost setups. Just not quite. Another all-time high being made. So this thing just wants to keep grinding. Wants to keep grinding. So don't argue with it. Just wait for the right setups. That's all you can do. All right, everyone. I'm just going to wrap up here because I don't want to keep watching this print super slow. It's going to take a while for this to even give us a second entry if it forms, or a pullback to this blue line that could make another, that could confirm like a wider sort of uptrend channel. If you zoom way out, you'll kind of see what I mean there. And I think I was talking about even from the low, you could draw one like this as a, but that's not going to really fit. So I think that might turn into a channel of its own. I would be going with this channel that we have drawn for now, and then just kind of watching it develop. Don't force anything. Just be patient. There's always going to be setups. All right, everybody. I'm going to wrap up here. Thanks for the time. I'll get the stream scheduled for tomorrow, and I'll make sure that I'm on time tomorrow. Hopefully, I won't have a call that starts, or get a call that I have to deal with right before the stream starts. But thanks, everybody, and I will see you all soon.